Hey everyone, welcome back to GM Details. In this video you'll see me cleaning the interior as well as the exterior of this Ford B-Max. You'll not see many of these on the road. They were only produced for 5 years from 2012 to 2017. They're based on a Fiesta Mark 6 platform and were discontinued due to the SUV trendsetters. This one belongs to my father-in-law, and as you can see it's in quite a poor state at the moment. I have one day to see what I can do to improve it, and I'm predominantly going to be using Autoglym products to clean, polish and protect the exterior. As for the interior, well, I'll see what I can do in the time that I've got. There's a lot of work ahead of me, so let's get straight into it. Starting with the interior on this one, I'll be putting some timestamps up in the top corner of the screen as some of you have requested to see how long the overall detail takes. I do take longer than any valeter as I'm not rushing around to the next job, but I'm still going to enjoy the process and take some time to do a good job. And as you can see, it's not too bad in here thankfully. A bit of dirt, pet hair everywhere. It's time for a proper clean. I'm using my trusty Karcher vacuum cleaner for this one. It's got powerful suction and it makes light work on most of the debris. But when it comes to pet hair, you need a little bit of extra help. This cheap little tool from AliExpress actually works wonders. It grabs the hair that the vacuum misses. Finishing off with just a few squirts of Autoglym Fresh fabric freshener. Into the main cabin of the car now, and I like to remove any waste and all personal items that the owner might have left behind. Any valuables go into a plastic bag and returned back to the car when the valet is complete, and it's best to remove any rubber liners you sometimes get in cup holders or in storage areas, just in case down the line they end up in the bin. Remove all the floor mats for cleaning with a drill brush and APC. Doing this early on allows the mats to hopefully fully dry by the time the car is collected. I like to start at the rear, working from the bottom up, so floors vacuumed before seats, and lastly moving on to the seat backs and door cards. Once I've vacuumed the rear, I can slide the front seats back and give my full attention to the front, where I think it's safe to say will probably be where most of the dirt is, and leaving the driver's seat area to last minimises re-soiling as I'm constantly getting in and out of the car. If you're eagle-eyed enough to see in the time-lapse sections, I'm pre-spraying something before using the vacuum cleaner. It's a standard fabric cleaner, but this helps reduce any dust that may become airborne due to the agitation, and there's a science behind it. It can break the surface tension of dirt, oils and fine particles that a vacuum cleaner alone won't remove. I thought I'd give it a try here, and I'm really surprised it actually does seem to work well. I'm not spraying enough that I need a wet vac extraction either. The dry vacuum nozzles and or the brush tool both work equally well. Give it a try yourself and you can let me know how you get on. The front seats have got some weird watermarks on the passenger seat, probably from the dog, but the worst staining is on the passenger headrest. So I'm going to try a new product to me for cleaning interiors. It's Korskemi Mehrzweck Reiniger, or MZR for short, and it's their multi-purpose cleaner. But wait, what about Green Star? So MZR is a similar product to Green Star, except it's a milder alkaline cleaner, lower foaming and tackles greasier deposits better in my opinion. So I'm going to use it at a 10% dilution here, which is a straight 100ml, and adding 900ml of distilled water to it. It'll help the product last longer if you're not going to be using all of it in the next week or so. Otherwise, diluting it with tap water is fine. If you notice some patches of suds, this is where previous chemicals have been used, and now I've reactivated the suds in the fabric that's been left over from somebody not extracting the product properly out the fabric the last time the seats were cleaned. It's not that MZR is patchy, but it's useful to see in the areas it's not got previous chemicals how low foaming it actually is for fabrics, and it's ideal for use with wet vacuums. You can use MZR for upholstery, plastics and vinyl. Don't use it on display screens or leather. Anything else, absolutely fine for it. And to finish off the floors, I'm applying more Autoglym Auto Fresh to the carpet just to take care of any odours that may have been left behind. The doors can then be closed over for the product to deodorise the cabin. These wheels haven't seen a cleaning product in a very long time, I love getting a challenge like this, just to show the true power of a product, and for this task I'm going to reach for Autoglym's Advanced All Wheel Cleaner. Now by now you should all be familiar with reactive wheel cleaners, the ones that turn purple on contact with brake dust and other contaminants. Brands put on the label that it's pH neutral, where that's completely fine in the bottle, but as soon as you spray the product onto a wheel, the resultant colour change is also a change in pH. And now a powerful acidic reaction is taking place to try and dislodge the embedded brake dust from your wheel. It's a very strong chemical, and personally I wouldn't be using it every wheel clean, as there's many other metal components to your wheels where you don't particularly want to be spraying an acid onto, but using this, it's unavoidable. Well maintained wheels can quite easily and cheaply be cleaned using a wheel shampoo or even a diluted all-purpose cleaner, as I've shown on the channel many times. So Autoglym sell this in a 1 litre or 2.5 litre options, but the 1 litre bottle has a trigger, and that trigger is absolutely rubbish for applying a chemical like this, and to change it you need a set of tools to grip the neck of the bottle and break the seal. I get that Autoglym are all for ease of use, and a lot of products are ready to use, like this one, where you shouldn't really need to remove the trigger, but the acid in the product makes the trigger very difficult to use after the first couple of uses. So for the next wheel, I'm going to see if I can get a better trigger for the bottle. I couldn't find any acid resistant triggers, that's the gold ones, so this chemical resistant Tolco triggers will do as long as I clean it out afterwards. It'll be completely fine, but just look at the difference in how the product is delivered. This is one of the rear wheels, as you can see from the rusty brake drum housing the brake shoes, and because it's rusty it instantly lights up purple as the chemical reacts with the rust. It's exactly the same chemical as a fallout remover in this wheel cleaner. Social media has kinda made this method of cleaning wheels normal practice. Let me know in the comments if this is your preferred way of cleaning your wheels every time. Anyway, I've went off on a wee tangent there. Back to this wheel. As you can see, there's nowhere near the same level of product reaction, as the rear brakes won't shed any brake dust, but there is ingrained dirt in the spokes. It'll be interesting to see what Autoglym All Advanced Wheel Cleaner can do in this situation. See, for a touchless wheel clean, the face of the wheel is lovely, but I'm still left with the ingrained dirt in the corners and corrosion on the spokes, though nothing but a refurb will make that any better. So the question is, was that the right product choice? With wheel cleaning you've got 3 choices. A reactive wheel cleaner, I just used that and it didn't do very much. Do I persevere with that though, and maybe introduce some brushwork? I could go with an alkaline cleaner, which in my experience wouldn't shift the ingrained dirt, which only leaves one thing: acid. I'm using Autobead acid wheel cleaner, which can be diluted down to 1:4, but that dilutes it down to a level I feel an alkaline cleaner can achieve. So I'm going straight in neat. Eye protection and gloves are essential when using this product, and I'm agitating it with a soft tipped Atlasta brush, and just look at the dirt just melt away with this product. You don't get long with it, but boy is it absolutely essential with wheels that haven't been cleaned in months or even years. I'm sorry the shot's a little out of focus here. It's only when I look back at these recordings I spot the faults. I'm clearly using far too much product here. It's a great way to watch back what you can improve with your process, and even if you don't want to start up a YouTube channel, it's a great learning tool. You can see the gaseous vapours coming off the wheel as the chemical reacts. It's not a colour changing product, that's just the colour of the product. But using acid wheel cleaner is a very effective but extremely hazardous to your health, and I cannot stress enough how important wearing goggles, gloves, preferably acid resistant, and ideally a mask of some sort, as those gases, if inhaled, can do some serious damage to your lungs. Also, do not mix an acid-based wheel cleaner with a snow foam on top, or anything else for that matter, especially an alkaline product, as toxic gases can be produced. A great result on the built up brake dust and embedded grime. It doesn't even look like the same wheel as the before and after shots show. Great work by the Autoglym acidic wheel cleaner. I can now get into the wheel barrels with the Easy Wheel Brush, Koshkemi GS Green Star for the tyres, and Easy Go Brush for the arches, and get these wheels and their surroundings looking respectable. They're never going to be perfect due to the age of the car, but at the very least I'll do what I can to improve them. It's now just after 3 PM and that's when the sun is directly over my driveway, so before I continue with the pre-wash, I'm quickly rinsing the car to cool it down on the sunny side, as I don't want any pre-wash chemicals to dry on contact. As soon as I've finished, I'm applying Koshkemi Green Star via the pump sprayer due to the amount of embedded grime on the car. That'll be followed up by the recommended dilution of Autoglym Polar Blast Snow Foam using the Autoglym Polar Blaster foam lance. I was interested to try out the whole polar wash system after seeing Adam from the Review channel use it regularly, and he absolutely loves the system, so I bought the polar wash kit from my local Halfords to try it out for myself. If you like watching cars being cleaned and product reviews on YouTube, do go check out Adam's channel. It's called Rev-U. He has probably the best looking Subaru Forester in the country, a Mark I Skoda Fabia, and just brought his Fiesta RS Turbo back to the channel, so there's plenty of interest in different cars too. Right, that's enough advertising other channels. Let's see how this snow foam's getting on. Autoglym Polar Blast is a great choice for a pre-wash snow foam. It clings really well to the car, giving a nice thick even blanket of foam that dwells for a good few minutes. The citrus scent is subtle and pleasant, and it's gentle enough that it won't strip wax or sealants, which makes it safe for regular maintenance washes. On the downside, it's not the most effective cleaner if the car is heavily soiled, and you may still need a stronger pre-wash in winter. But for a safe, pH neutral foam for taking care of loose debris or summer light dirt, it'll work just fine. So why did I use it on this car, knowing I needed something stronger? I started out this video planning out mainly to use Autoglym products that are easily bought from your local Halfords or Amazon. It's a trusted brand and it gives a good benchmark to suggest an alternative should the results be less than satisfactory. I've noticed that it's just been given What Car's Best Overall Snow Foam Award. I checked out their test and among others it had Built Hamber Touchless and Halford's Advanced Snow Foam in there, which have both featured on the channel previously, but I certainly wouldn't choose Polar Blast over Built Hamber Touchless. It really just goes to show that product reviews are entirely subjective and shouldn't put you off trying something if you like the look of it or if the price is right for you. For the contact wash, I'm using a single bucket of clean tap water and another of Autoglym's best selling products, Polar Wash. This is a lance applied shampoo, removing the need for a separate bucket of suds. But first let's take a look at how the snow foam has done. Remember this huge bird bomb and the ingrained dirt from the mirror down? Well, the top layer of dirt has been removed to reveal some gloss, so has the bird bomb, and a little of the ingrained dirt is still remaining for the contact wash. With the top layer of dirt removed, you can see the extent of paint damage there is on the car, from years of roadside car washes or automatic brush washers. I won't be doing a paint correction on this car today, even though the car is crying out for one, but keep watching till the end to see what product Autoglym have to improve this. If you want to guess what I'll be using, pause the video now and leave a comment below, and see if you're right at the end of the video. So Polar Blast worked quite well there, seeing those results, but now it's time for the contact wash and I'm using Polar Wash. Autoglym sell this quite literally by the bucket load. Over 2,000 bottles a month fly out of Amazon warehouses alone in the UK, so it's a firm favourite with a lot of car care enthusiasts. So the shampoo is part 2 of the 3-part Polar range, which is designed for use with a pressure washer and foam lance, the third one being Polar Seal for protection. I won't be using that today as I wanted to try Autoglym Ceramic Quick Detailer instead, but Polar Seal is certainly a very competent product and easy to use with any foam lance, not just via Autoglym's Polar Blaster. Now Polar Wash is meant to be a contactless shampoo, which means you can apply it through your foam lance without immediately touching the paint. For me that's a bit like the foam in pre-wash's job. I have a bit of difficulty in thinking Polar Wash will have any cleaning power without agitation, and Autoglym actually recommends you use a wash mitt for best results, so it's not a touchless shampoo then. The foam it produces is nice, not as thick as snow foam, but definitely enough to cling to the panels. In terms of cleaning power, I'd say it's slick enough to allow the wash mitt to glide across the paint safely. Even on this 12-year-old scratched up paint, it still felt well lubricated. But as you have the car covered in suds now, it's very tempting to keep going with the wash mitt without rinsing it out. I kept having to remind myself after every 1 or 2 panels to dunk the mitt before going back to the car again. I've no concerns about adding any more swirls to the car than there already is, so this method feels okay, and possibly a little bit quicker. As it's sunny, I've only applied Polar Wash to the shaded side for now, so I can leave the shampoo on the car longer to save me having to foam wash, rinse and repeat on all 4 corners. The only negative for me is the dilution. It's recommended to use a 1:1 dilution, but that's using 250ml of shampoo every wash. Quick and convenient it may be, but economical it is not. One thing I really like about Polar Wash is how easy it is to rinse off. It doesn't leave behind any soapy residue. As sticky as it is on the panels, it rinses away lovely and free. The whole system is brilliant for someone who loves using their foam lands while washing and protecting their vehicles. For me, however, the foam lands application method is a little messy for my liking, and I much prefer the standard 2-bucket method using a lot less shampoo. Each to their own, I suppose, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with either method. The people who buy this don't care about costs. The system is all about convenience, and that's something Autoglym is renowned for. Now that the contact wash is done, I turn my attention to the brushwork with all-purpose cleaner. I don't do it at the snow foam stage like some others, as there is a greater risk of inflicting some damage from a stone or some other debris hidden in the foam. I find it's much easier to let the pre-wash chemicals do their job first, then, after the contact wash, see if any brushwork is even needed. Quite often it's not, and that's why you don't often see me using detailing brushes on my videos. But in this case, there's still some lichen left to remove. So with some APC, Kochchemi Green Star seems fitting in this case, to help dislodge the last of the moss and go round all the window rubbers with a detailing brush before sprucing up the fuel filler cap area too. The next stage for the B-Max is to clay it. I'm not going to use any chemical decontamination products on the car. As you can see, it's in direct sunlight and the chemicals won't work as they'll pretty much instantly dry on the surface of the warm paint. So I'm taking panel by panel, foaming what's left of the Polar Wash onto the car and using a G3 clay mitt to gently exfoliate the paint. Now you normally wouldn't do this if you aren't going to polish the paint afterwards, as a clay mitt can induce some marring or light scratches, but due to the condition of the paint anyway, I don't think I can really make it any worse than it already is. This will smooth the feel of the paint and remove embedded contaminants that the wash process can't remove, and this mitt has a large surface area of rubberized polymer clay technology that can be used many times over. It's not as thorough as a traditional clay bar, but for jobs like this it's absolutely ideal. I've got a bucket of clean water to rinse out the mitt, and as I do that I'm trying to clean the rubber pad too to dislodge any contamination so the mitt is at its best each time I go back to the car. You don't need any pressure with it, don't rush it either. Just have a good amount of lubrication and gently work over the paint until it stops sounding like you're rubbing sandpaper over it. It's a shock to the system the first time you use one, but they are worth having in your detailing kit. As the B-Max has no B door pillars, the car has to have strength from its chassis like a convertible, and these sills are absolutely huge. Again, more work for the Koshkemi Green Star and a scrub pad. The plastics would have been an excellent test for garage therapy trim, but it wasn't available at the time of filming, unfortunately. I've been on my feet most of the day cleaning this car, and if I've to have any energy to finish it, I've gone in and had a dinner break, and need some digestion time before I get stuck into the last external stages. If you're still watching the video so far, thank you very much. I'm sure the end will be well worth the wait, but for now, as the day has cooled, so has the car's interior, and a perfect temperature to clean the leather steering wheel. I've brought a bucket of clean tap water out, and in it I have a couple of good quality microfiber towels soaking. I'll tell you what they're for in a minute, but first I'm going to prep the area for cleaning. I'm going to be using Autoglym leather cleaner, which is a sprayable product. I prefer a liquid leather cleaner to a dry foam. I just think it works better that way in my opinion. Anyway, I've got a spare towel to cover the instrument binnacle just to protect the dash lenses. Not so important on these Perspex lenses, but if you're using any spray cleaner on a modern car with a digital instrument cluster screen, you need to protect it against any splashback, as this may damage the surface of the virtual cockpit display. I've started with some directly sprayed onto the leather. If you want to spray directly into the brush instead, that's fine too. The brush needs to be a soft horsehair type, not nylon or those thermoplastic scrub pads. They'll strip your leather coating and you'll just be left with a sticky steering wheel with the dye coming off. So go easy and gently massage the cleaner into the leather, working around the wheel methodically. You might notice that the cleaner isn't foaming up too much at this point. That's the dirt and oils preventing it from foaming. A study by the Queen Mary University of London in 2011 found 700 bacteria per square centimetres. Not in this car, I might add, but an average test vehicle. To put that into perspective, a public toilet seat roughly has around 80 bacteria per square centimetres. The bacteria that was found was E. coli, staphylococcus and mould spores, depending on whether you eat in the car or not. So yes, after reading that, I should really have gloves and a mask on while cleaning this steering wheel. Have you ever become really ill after cleaning a car interior? I have, and I never really related it to the car valet. It was like a really bad flu. I didn't think at the time it was related to cleaning a car interior until it kept happening every car interior clean. It can really mess you up, so a mask and gloves are definitely recommended. Microfiber cloths can be used on leather as long as you use good quality high GSM towels. I've been soaking this general purpose edgeless towel in the water for around 10 minutes. Wring it out till it's damp and not dripping, and remove the product residue from around the steering wheel, and in turn the grease and dirt from the leather will come with it. Can you see on the second hit of the leather cleaner that the product is really starting to foam up now, the cleaner it's getting? Just like cleaning tyres, you get nice clean foam the cleaner the tyres are. Same with leather, it's high grease and grime content which prevents some products from foaming up. You'll find the same with fabric cleaning and plastics too. What I'm using here is a bamboo fabric towel, specifically manufactured for the leather repair company, as they wanted less microfiber involvement in their new push for being environmentally friendly, and I must say I love how easy they are to work with, and they wash very nicely too. I've had these for a few years now and I still use them for my own leather interior. They're complemented by a bamboo cleaning pad which is loads more friendly than them thermoplastic scrub pads. Now I'm just gently massaging the leather with the damp cloth to remove the last of the cleaning residue. Leave to dry naturally and you're left with a lovely clean matte steering wheel again. So on to the final section of today's video, giving the car some love with Autoglym Super Resin Polish. This is by far the best place to start when learning how to polish a car, by hand using Super Resin Polish. It's so easy to use and it's never going to remove any paint, so you can use it as often as you like. A lot of people ask if Super Resin Polish, or SRP as it's commonly referred to, is an abrasive polish or a glaze, and the simple answer is it's a bit of both. It does have tiny diminishing abrasives to remove any blemishes or light oxidisation by hand, but not enough to actually cut the paint. It has resin fillers in it which fill up the small paint swirls and scratches like a scratch pen and deflect the light away from the scratch. Yes, it is cheating a bit, but who cares? Most of us haven't got the time to do a full machine polish and ceramic coat. Using this stuff will guarantee to turn heads, or just the odd compliment in the work car park, and definitely people will be asking you to do theirs next. As you can see, it's a simple case of apply a small amount to an applicator pad, overlap in a circular motion and leave it to dry. I actually went all the way around the car as it was evening and a bit cooler before buffing off the dry residue with a couple of microfiber cloths. It's that easy. I first started using SRP around 10 years ago and I couldn't believe the finish it left on the car then. So if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend you get some and try it out for yourself.
This car don't
It's just gone 7 PM to take me up to an 8-hour shift. I haven't filmed any of this application as by this point the light was fading and I was worried that I wouldn't get any aftershots for you to see, so I went round the car in double quick time applying the product, and here is the final results of today's work using mainly Autoglym. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, that's amazing. Thank you for watching. I hope it's inspired someone to go and have a go themselves. It's hard work, but boy does it pay off in the end. I've enjoyed using Autoglym again, and I will certainly have more content coming up from Autoglym on future videos. So if you'd like to be notified when those videos are uploaded, please consider subscribing, sharing and or leaving a comment below to let the YouTube algorithm do its thing and bring these videos to more people like you who might enjoy this sort of content. That's it for me on this epic transformation. Obviously, in one day you can't do everything, and the headlights could do with some work, but that's for another day. I'm just going to finish off the interior by adding a brand new set of mats, and that's the car done, and me as well. I hope you'll join me on the next video. Until then, take care and enjoy your own detailing, and if you want to check out any of the products used in the video, I'll put all the links in the description below for you to check out. See you next time. Cheery bye.